We begin tonight with a comment by the President that he'll not be distracted by the opposition in his efforts to deliver good work for the benefit and development of Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari says the ruling party has the full understanding of Nigeria's challenges and is encouraged by the support of Nigerians in addressing them. He was speaking during a lunch with some governors and leaders of the All Progressives Congress in Daura, Katsina State. Our correspondent Gloria Umezuke reports.
A delegation of APC governors, led by the chairman, Governor Rochas Okorocha, are in Daura, the country home of President Muhammadu Buhari, to felicitate with him in the spirit of the season. The president led them to a lunch before a scheduled meeting. President Muhammadu Buhari made it clear that he is focused and would not renege on his promises or get distracted by members of the opposition party.
What we campaigned on in 2015 is still very much in our minds, and we want to maintain focus. I am very pleased the opposition, with all the resources at their disposal and the influence they have, they could not fault our identification of Nigerian priority and the efforts that is being made. We will continue to do what we ought to do in the place of leadership God has placed us.
The president afterwards led the group in for a closed-door meeting.
The APC is firmly on ground, and we're ready.
Governors and other senators then share their optimism about the president's re-election bid, maintaining that in spite of the defections, there are no losses.
We had wished that none of them, especially the governors, had left the party. We had wished. And it pains us so much because having associated, having related together as brothers, all of a sudden you're not seeing one of your own. If we feel it. But no negative impact whatsoever on the APC. And within 1 week, people have forgotten and we have forged ahead.
Parties around the world are associations of persons, and sometimes others will feel their objective cannot be met in where they are. But what has happened led to more commitment among party members.
Although other members remain hopeful within the party, they insist that it is Nigeria first.
I think the party has made it very clearly known to each and every person that there will be reward for loyalty, but in every sense of the word, the due process of the party needs to be followed. And as far as we are concerned, what matters most to us is not simply about automatic ticket, but about the peaceful and transparent conduct of the 2019 election.
The president's assurance to stay focused on his promises to Nigerians may have strengthened the resolve of members of the ruling party as they look forward to victory in the upcoming elections. From Daura, Katsina State, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
To security matters now. The police in Kaduna State have announced the killing of 2 suspected armed bandits and the arrest of 5 others in connection with the killing of some policemen in Jankasa village in Igabi local government area of the state. The command also announced the arrest of several other suspects for various offences ranging from kidnapping to armed robbery. The 4 policemen attached to the Inspector General of Police Rapid Response Team were ambushed and killed by suspected armed bandits on August the 11th, 2018, while they were on a special operations in Ringasa area of Igabi local government area. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in the state, Ahmed Kontangora, says a massive manhunt of the killers of the policemen by the Special Tactical Squad led to the killing of the 2 suspects and the arrest of other members of the gang. A group which says it's taking up the plight of workers in Ekiti State today stormed the state secretariat in Ado, the state capital, stopping business activities and forcing workers out of their offices. The civil servants who were surprised by the action formed clusters around the state secretariat as police officers were also at the scene to manage the situation. The group, which calls itself the Ekiti Workers Rescue Team, insists the labour leaders have failed to act in the face of hardship caused by unpaid salaries.
Have a lot of entreaties with the Nigeria Labour Congress and the TUC so that they can do the needful. But these people, they reluctantly did not heed to our plea. And the workers are groaning in abject penury. So by so doing, we need some people who can come together to take home by the horn, to take wood by the horn. And that is what we are doing here today. The industrial action has been declared, the strike has been declared, and henceforth, till further notice, all workers should stay at home.
But the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress in the state has condemned the action of the group, saying it's been engaging the state government on workers' welfare using an approach it considers best.
They said they were fighting for workers. If anyone should fight for workers, I think they should go through the Nigeria Labour Congress or the TUC. But this is not happening. What we see is that maybe they have some motive, or maybe they have their target, or maybe they have their plan. We don't know. All along, we have been talking with government. We have been talking with, even before the election, we invited all stakeholders, the potential governors then, that we told them that this is how much the government is owing, this and that. So if we are not making effort, all those things will not come out. So we have been making frantic efforts to make sure that workers' welfare are actually taken care of.
While the non-payment of salaries has been a major issue between the Ekiti state government and workers, and the leadership of the NLC in the state has asked that the state government offset salaries owed workers. The Office of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Benin City, the Edo State capital, has suffered a severe case of flooding following a heavy downpour during the Eid al-Kabir holiday. The resident electoral commissioner in the state describes the incident as devastating, as all the offices on the ground floor of the complex were badly affected. He says sensitive materials, including card readers and generators, have been damaged.
The Independent National Electoral Commission INEC headquarters in Benin City, the Edo State capital. It looks like all is well here, but once you make it inside the compound, the reality hits you. The torrential rainfall over the past 72 hours in Benin City has wreaked a massive havoc here. The offices on the ground floor have all been flooded. The resident electoral commissioner, Edo State, Emmanuel Alex Hart, explains how the flood gained access to the INEC buildings.
The flood water came from there. We have some, from up there, and on the other end. We are in a valley, sort of. So water from here, there, and up there, converges here. That's what we experienced yesterday, and that caused the collapse of the fence.
The ICT center, where sensitive materials, including computer systems and card readers, are kept, took a massive hit, as most of them were submerged in the flood water. The head of department, Lawrence Akan, insists, however, that the incident has not completely crippled the capacity of his office.
When we got the news, we arrived here, and first we had to take out our server where we have data. And we thank God there's no data loss in this disaster. But as you can see, most of our card readers were affected. The tables that they were on fell, and some of our systems too are bad, are soaked in the water.
As the 2019 election approaches, there is the need to urgently recalibrate the flood control system within the INEC Benin premises and ensure that sensitive materials are protected from the elements. Osazobaza Channels Television News.
The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, has denied alleged claims that the Southeast region has been abandoned. The minister says there are 69 federal projects ongoing in the Southeast region and that the Buhari administration will not relent in fulfilling its promises to the people, especially in the areas of poverty eradication and the fight against corruption. He was speaking at a town hall meeting in Ilori, the Kwara state capital.
Members of the All Progressives Congress in Kwara State gathered to witness the inauguration of ward and local government canvassers in Ilori ahead of the 2019 general elections. But it wasn't just about the inauguration, it's also another platform for the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, and the spokesperson of the Buhari Osinbajo campaign organization, Festus Keyamo, to speak up on the successes of the present government. The Minister of Information is particularly worried about the allegation that the presence of the federal government has not been felt in the southeast zone of the country. He describes the statement as untrue.
I make bold to say that no part of this country, including the southeast, has been left out in the infrastructural renewal program of the Buhari administration. As a matter of fact, our record 69 federal projects which are currently going on in the southeastern part of Nigeria.
The spokesperson of the Buhari campaign group, Mr. Festus Keyamo, corroborates the view, explaining that no government has paid attention to the development of the southeast as much as the present administration has done.
The ultimate end of every struggle is to establish a system that at least there will be a deliberate effort to confront the winners and killers of society, to protect the poor, to protect the vulnerable, and to protect the weak. I can tell you that there is no government in the history of this country since 1960, no government that has concentrated more on the poor, on the vulnerable, as much as this government in the last 3 years.
The inauguration of wards and local government canvassers is a move by the APC to recruit those who will officially campaign for the Buhari Osinbajo mandate ahead of the 2019 general elections.
In part 2, after the break, Third Mainland Bridge closes to traffic temporarily in less than 2 hours. We'll bring you an update on that, and we'll be joined by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Transportation, Dr. Taiwo Salam.